How does one rack up a $5,000 phone bill while playing Pokemon Go? Well, if you're Gymnast superstar Kohei Uchimura of Japan, that's exactly what happened. So Uchimura is a strong favorite to win the men's all-round competition for Gymnast. I mean, that's some power you gotta have to be a gymnast. Tell you what, man, my hat's off to him. Apparently, this is going to be his second consecutive time possibly winning. He became hooked to the mobile game Pokemon Go after being persuaded by his colleagues to try it out. I don't really think he needed much persuasion, honestly, because if you really think about it, it's been in the news for months. So, after landing the pre-games training camp last week, Uchimura downloaded the game and played it during his spare time, unaware that he was racking up enormous roaming charges. 500,000 yen, roughly the equivalent of $4,954 without tax. So over $5,000 with tax. Uchimura told Kyoto News on Tuesday, shaking his head with embarrassment. He looked dead at the team meal that day a teammate had shared. So his bill would have been really distressing and really would have screwed his time over at the Olympics. Though being an Olympian, I gotta tell you, I don't think $5,000 would have been that big of a deal with how many sponsorships you get and winning and things like that. You gotta make some type of money, so I don't think $5,000 would have been the end of the world. It would just piss you off. So the game wasn't officially available in Brazil. Apparently it's now since then launched, I think. And that would have sucked because at the time, I don't think he could have caught anything, not really. So he was saved after he explained to the cell phone company what had occurred, what had happened, and they agreed to charge him a flat rate of $30 per day and waive the extra cost. He said, and I quote, "I really lucked out." So are you guys ready for story time with Protomario? Let me sit down, kids. Get yourself some alcohol and a weed and sit yourselves down. Have a little story time with Uncle Proto, with Daddy Proto, okay? When I was in the Army, cell phones weren't really the way they are now. Smartphones were just coming about. This was in 2005, 2006 to 2010. So obviously that was when cell phones really started taking form. That was the age, the era of the Razor, if you guys remember that. Well, I didn't have a plan that allowed me to get unlimited texting, so I paid per text. And being the young thug I was, the young beast, the guy just looking for some tail, I would text a lot of women, and I would text frequently, and I had a lot of girlfriends in the Army. Well, a couple times my phone bill was like $200, $300, and this is before smartphones, before data, man. So just really imagine that. That's just with texting and calling. So finally I decided, look, man, these bills are way too much. I can't fucking do this dumb shit. So I went down and I demanded that they put me on a plan of some kind, and they eventually did. So whenever you have something like that with your cell phone, don't just ignore it. Don't just, I'll just pay the extra fee, it's just too much trouble to go down and mess with it. I know a lot of people don't think that way, but there is a sect of lazy people who just don't think it's a big deal. So make sure to get yourself on a good cell phone plan. If you need extra data, just pay for the extra data. It's way better to pay for the extra data ahead of time than the next day, you can cancel that and say, okay, I'm not gonna use this data anymore, so I'm gonna go ahead and downgrade. It's way better to do that than to be like, well, I'll just pay $15 a gig and end up paying $150 because you use 10 gigs. It's really shitty, man. So anyways, that's the news for today. Sorry there's a lot of Pokemon Go news, but it's very interesting stuff that's happening with Pokemon Go, and as it's revitalizing many countries and bringing forth a lot of good things and bad things, I'm going to go ahead and report on it. So if you enjoyed this news story, leave me a thumbs up, and as always, I've been your host Protomario, and I'm signing out. Good gaming, and God bless.